Hi, tea sippers. I'm back. Let's dive in and clock that Reali-Tea. Hey, tea sippers. Thanks for coming back for our all-new episode. First and foremost, welcome to Clock the Reali-Tea with Mark Midwestern Honey. Yep, that's me. I bring it to you fresh every single week, spilling that fresh Reali-Tea gossip that spills from the Bravoverse, the Drag Race world, all wherever, child. I usually find what I find, scrape it up, and serve it fresh. But most importantly, I want to say Happy Black History Month, because Black people have made a huge imprint in the reality TV world, and here's just a few ladies, just to name a few. Portia Williams, Nene Leakes, Tiffany Pollard, Omarosa, Kenya Moore, Mona Scott, Cynthia Bailey, Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia Barrino, and the one and only Tyra Banks. Now, I'm not saying you have to like these ladies, but it is Black History Month, and we have to honor Black women, first and foremost, but most importantly, we have to honor the fact that it is Black History Month. And when it comes to spilling that tea, I would not be spilling tea without these ladies, and without any other Black women or Black person has contributed to the reality TV industry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything y'all do, and thank y'all production and producers for holding them down always. Let's clock it. Tea sippers, yay, I'm so happy I'm back. I'm so happy you're back. Let's get into this tea and really start clocking it all, y'all. The first thing I want to start clocking is Miss Jill Zarin's messy racist ass. Take a listen to what she had to say.
So we all agree, now we all agree, I agree, I said it before, that it was the worst halftime show ever. And it's 250 years that we're celebrating right now in the United States. And I just don't think it was appropriate to have it in Spanish. And quite frankly, I didn't need to see him grabbing his, G area. I think it was totally inappropriate. You've got all these young kids watching the Super Bowl, and he doesn't have to be grabbing himself every 5 seconds. Is he so insecure? Seriously, I didn't understand it. I don't speak Spanish. I would have liked to have known the words he was saying. To me, it looked like a political statement because there were literally no white people in the entire thing. I think it was a political statement, and I'm not taking a side one way or the other. I just do. I think it was an ice thing. And I just think that the NFL sold out, and it's very sad because this was 75 years, and, shame. Shame. And Lady Gaga got a facelift. I didn't recognize her. I literally had to Google her face to see who it was, because we all couldn't agree who it was. So that was kind of fun in the middle of halftime. At least it gave me something to do, because it was so hard to watch.
Girl, like the entire country Googling your face to see who you are? While you're over there talking about what's what and what's not cultural and where the white people at, Jill Zarin, where are you? Because reports have just said that you have just been fired, baby. But before we get into the Jill Zarin has been fired from the network tea, let's go ahead and drop what the View girlies have to say about it. Because I know they had to rip that ass up just like I'm about to do. Go ahead and take a listen.
Now, former Real Housewife, who?
Jill Zarin.
Jill Zarin. Okay, her. Deleted a video post, where she called the performance the worst halftime show ever.
Mm-hmm. Why do we care what she says?
I don't know. She said there were no white people.
The white people were in the audience. If
white people were in the grass. There was all kind of white people there. What was she looking at? Well, yes, there were white people who were in
I thought Lady Gaga was right on stage.
Italian white girl.
That's right.
Isn't she
Well,
Italian?
she went on to say something about how she didn't recognize Lady Gaga's face, and I thought that is.
Well, that's your problem. Get some glasses.
But that's also rich coming from a housewife. I think there's more plastic surgery. She was commenting. Well, I don't mean. I mean that she was commenting that she must have gotten a facelift because she didn't recognize Lady Gaga, and I thought. That is funny because I don't recognize cast photos every time Bravo drops a new episode because they all look correct. So I think
it was, and her major complaint was, it was in Spanish and I didn't understand any of it. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Everybody was down with the Macarena when it came out, and they were all on the Carnival cruises, and they were doing all of this, and they were doing all of this, and everybody was fine fine with it. You know, I think what's so interesting to me is, you know, this country seems to be one of the only countries in the world that is so proud of being monolingual and not being able to communicate in more than one language. And the fact of the matter is, in about 20 years, multi-ethnic people will be the majority in this country. So if you don't understand Spanish, maybe start taking a little Duolingo course and learn.
Child, between Jill Zarin talking about where the white people at, to her complaining about it being in Spanish, to her putting her snout on the screen with her leftover looking ass, looks like she doesn't really season much, baby. It's not really giving. Girl, you just got fired because you decided to run your mouth. And what you will know is that while you're over there running your mouth, other people are running to the streets talking about you, baby. Yeah, spilling the tea. But let's go back in a few years on Miss Jill Zarin. Girl, when you first got on the Real Housewives of New York City, nobody was checking for you because only thing that you brought with you was a facade and chaos. I remember when you were on Ultimate Girls Trip and you showed up late, like it's supposed to be this grand entrance. Girl, you're late to filming. Hello? This is not the Jill Zarin show. And this is not Jill Zarin's America. Karen. Jill KK Karen. Okay, that's her name. Because here's the thing. If you want to go out here and bump your gums, yes, bump your gums and your snout all over your camera about what Bad Bunny is doing, why don't you focus on the good? The fact that he made history. The fact that 135 million people watched that halftime show compared to the one that you should have been watching with Turning Point US Piss. Turning Point USA. Because what's been giving? What's been giving? Jill Zarin, you're dried up. You or Ramona can hang it up. Ramona was racist. That's the T. You're racist. That's the T. That's why they moved you girls down to Palm Springs to have this little spin-off fake-ass show so that y'all can pretend like you guys are a part of the Bravoverse when you're really not. Your time is up. And don't even call yourself Golden Girls because you're not Golden Girls. Because I don't think Blanche is really checking for this kind of shit. Would you be? You feel emboldened because your president has us fucked up. But here's a reminder to you. You have us fucked up because this is your tea. Now, that you have run out of a check from your other show, please don't come back crying to the network and to Andy saying that you made a mistake. Because clearly you... Now's not the time to make a mistake, baby. Now's the time to click in. Okay? Really quickly, listen to Kim Pyre eat her up.
This is where the ignorance comes in. You are celebrating 250 years of this country, but you do realize a part of that history has to do with immigrants, slavery, and Native American slaughter. You do realize some of that 250 years of American history is included, and you're so upset that you did not see a white face in this performance. That was done intentionally. What part of that don't you understand? This is what people are talking about. At this particular point, this is not unconscious bias. This is intentional bias and ignorance. I'm not surprised, especially when it comes to these Real Housewives ladies. And you know Jill Zarin's about to be on this new show that E is doing. Keep talking, because this is going to show people exactly why they should not watch you any longer on reality or any television.
Child, the fact that Jill Zarin doesn't even know history. Let's talk about that part. Because you have to be one ignorant motherfucker to sit up there and be like, where are the white people at? With the climate that we're in right now in our country. But we could save that tea for another time. Let's get into some more Roni tea. So, Miss MAGA, Zarin, KKK, Karen, Jill Zarin, Ramona Singer, all the girls have been racist from the get-go. Okay? They're with their privileged white asses, and yes, I said that, from New York City, one of the melting pot cities of the damn world, that is extremely diverse. So you must have just been in your little tiny bubble in a big ass city like that. For you to fix your crusty thin lips on camera, poke your nose all on the screen, and say that you are just so, it's just beyond you. Like the NFL personally went out to attack you. Let me give y'all a little bit of context. The racism with these Roni ladies, especially the old Roni ladies, has been nothing new. Ramona showed her ass on Ultimate Girls Trip as well, acting a fool with Kenya on camera. And then she wants us to all forget that. Not to mention, she was on some weird MAGA shit, wasn't wearing a mask, moved to Florida so she could be free. They're all like that. They're all very me. What about me? What me? Ooh, the world and me. Girl, let me get y'all together. Because the graciousness that I'm trying to give Jill Zarin is crazy. Because I'm not gonna start giving these people any more grace. Jill Zarin, you look like a weasel. You look like a weasel, you talk like a weasel, and you must hang out with other weasels. And you must hang out with people who are very uncultured. Because how dare you sit there in that bland-ass living room with your friend hiding from the camera, not showing her face, so that she doesn't get canceled from her job. And then you fix your lips to say, this is a problem. Like, we all got issues now in America since this is what we're doing. Since we have to listen to Bad Bunny. Bitch, you don't have to understand anything that he said to do a little dance, a little key, a little shimmy in your shoulder. You didn't do none of that, Jill. So you was just sitting up there all dry and mad with that dry ass hair. With that dusty hair. And I know that breath was hot the way you was sounding. Drunk. Miserable. A mess. And then you got fired from E. So that should tell you something. Ramona, take notes. So if they keep you and the other ladies around on this new MAGA-verse show that they decided to put on E, hopefully Ramona don't get canceled. Because Ramona's next. Americans are tired. But reality TV show fans, we don't do that racist shit. We don't do no racist stuff. We don't do nothing of the sort. We don't do nothing of the sort that involves any kind of like KKK members that like to disguise themselves as like they are entertainment. Cause baby, you're not entertainment. You're crazy-tainment. Yes, me all. Jill Zarin. Sweetheart. Sweetie. Every time you open your mouth, it's like watching someone trying to make themselves into a legacy that they're not. You felt emboldened because you got picked up by the show on the E. You logged on and you thought it was 2009 and you thought you was going to get away with some bullshit. Girl, you've been a reality TV star long enough to know better. But how are you still out here acting like cultural diversity is a personal inconvenience for you? Too much for your Upper East Side bubble, baby? I thought you moved to Palm Springs. And the funniest part is that you say this stuff with all this confidence of someone who is about to give a little TED talk on her couch, like somebody's Facebook auntie, when you up here being a Karen. And then you like to post stuff and delete it. Post and delete. Jill, we see everything that your racist ass puts online. Okay? From you going against the Gaza people and calling it all a hoax. Everything that you be saying, girl. Everything. Allegedly. Everything that you be saying. From the Zarin Fabrics place calling you out saying we are no longer affiliated with this lady. We don't know her. It's very, we don't know her energy. Like, Jill, baby, nobody is mad. Nobody is mad at you for having an opinion. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like anything. But it's 2016. And if you're still confused as to why your racist ass comments don't mean anything and don't have consequences, you might as well go ahead and continue defending that pedophile. That's what you might as well do. Go ahead and defend that pedophile, baby. Because we know that's what you do. You lack substance. And the Zarin Fabrics place said, we don't know her. Alright. Thank you so much for listening to my rant about Miss Jill Zarin's racist ass. I'm glad we covered her at the beginning. Got her out of the way. I'm ready to switch gears and talk about the Traitors. Because as devastated as I was to see Lisa Rinna go, the show must go on, right? But now I'm devastated again. Take a listen.
Before you leave my castle forever, please reveal to us. Are you faithful or a traitor?
Well, I don't want to cry. I love you all so much. This experience has been life-changing. I've never been in a situation where I've connected with so many people so quickly. I feel like I played this game with valor, with love, with respect. With treachery, because I am a traitor.
I love you. Thank you. Oh my God! Thank God.
Baby, gooped, dabbed, verklempt, everything. I cannot believe it. Obviously, I knew Candiace was a traitor as well as everybody else, but I was not ready to see Sis go home so early. She played the game really well. She had a great personality as always, because Candy Girl has a good personality, and she's always going to stand 10 toes down for what she believes and play the game her way. But she got into that ass. And we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to give a kudos to this season of The Traitors so far, but most importantly, Candiace, you came in this castle ready to make friends, meet new people, understand the game, go in and be a traitor when asked, no bars, ho, bitch. Like, you came in there, you did your thing, you slayed down. And I will say, her mug, Candiace Muggiana Diller Bassett is what I'm going to call her. She was the slay queen of the season. I'm going to miss her on the show. She's good. I cannot wait to see her back on our screens in a Bravoverse. Because Candiace, you're coming back. You're not just doing a podcast situation. You will be back. You will have guests on your show, give reviews. I need you to tag up with Carlos, do your thing. Boom, boom, boom. Candiace, come back. Come back to Potomac. Because what you gave was what you gave. And what you always will give. Which is fantastic television. And you always bring it to us every single time. And I understand, girlie, I'm not an outdoorsy survivor person either, but you got into here in this castle. You said, okay, if I gotta do this, let me find my wigs that I know will just look good on TV, but I ain't gotta worry about bloom, 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 do, 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 do. Let me get this outfit here, these shoes, that, boom, boom, boom. Came in, made TV, went home. Period. That's how we do it. Now, I want to get into Candiace and Rob, because there's a little bit of conflict there, obviously, because they both turned at each other. And I'm sick of traitors turning on each other. But, you know, Candiace had a little bit of tea to spill when she got on the after show podcast with, I believe it was Rob, what's his name, Boston Rob? Yeah, that's his name, Boston Rob, Little Evil Self. And Bob the Drag Queen. Take a listen.
The last thing Colton said to me last night was Candiace.
He didn't have to say that.
He's a bitch.
The motion was already going. He did not have to do that.
Right now is basically to push for Candiace. I mean, she's going to start making conspiracy theories about me.
I was never.
You wrote his name down at the round table.
He fucked up the pack. I expect the others to sniff me out. Mm-hmm. That's the game. But we made a pact in this turret. And you went against the pact.
Do you think if you didn't write his name down, then he potentially wouldn't have gone after you?
No, I think he still would have. And I'm going to tell you why. Human behavior, okay, is important here. I have an honorary MD, okay? And I look at behavior.
Honorary, I'm screaming honorary.
My parents are doctors.
Crazy.
It's honorary, but it's an MD.
So you're basically a doctor.
Basically, pretty much, yes. It's a. If you look at my name, there's like a shadow of MD behind it.
That's Dr. Bassett to you.
Yes. Listen, okay? Human behavior would speak differently. His behavior spoke to what his character was and what he was going to do. He told me with his actions what he was going to do. When he voted for Lisa, looked in our faces and said he was sorry, and then did it again the next night or very soon after, we are in hell.
I agree.
That is so funny. Y'all should check out the pod. They do like this official podcast for the Traitors where they cover each episode. It's with Bob the Drag Queen and Boston Rob, and they are carrying. I will say, this is an interesting perspective, because I agree with Candiace. I also agree, like, you know, girl, you still gotta play the faithful game. Like, if you're not voting along with the faithfuls, then that's how you hang it up. But I will say, she is 100% right. Like, Rob, you betrayed the pack first. You voted for Renna twice. But now that the target is on Renna's back, you should have gotten into Candiace's ear and said, well, here's the thing. Everybody's coming for Renna. Are you with me or not? And then you have to conquer and divide. And I think Candiace wasn't really willing to do that. I don't think there's more conversations that were had. Maybe there were, maybe there weren't. Either way, it's a wrap on that, baby. And Candiace played the game. She fumbled the ball right there by going 10 tones for Renna. But she's a housewife. What do you want the housewives to do? We can't all be voting out housewives. We can't all be like that. We can't all put a target on our back. We can't all damned if we do, damned if we don't. Because if Candiace had voted for Renna, you know, it would have been like, okay, I'm going with the faithfuls. It could have been claimed that, but it could have also been a situation where it's like, why would she vote for a housewife? Even if she's a faithful, wouldn't you stand by a housewife? Either way, it would have been a moment, and they would have had Candiace, like, in the magnifying glass child throughout the house. Throughout the castle, throughout the streets, throughout the community, throughout the whole island, baby. Candiace was just done for soon. So, it was a good game. I'm excited to see what happens. It looks like Rob decided to choose that one guy. What's his name? Is Jamal coming? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna be watching because I want to see how Dorinda plays this game, and I need something to give. I need the faithfuls to start really, really getting into who could be a traitor, and I need all those eyes to start looking at Rob because Candiace did write his name down. Here's a hint, faithfuls. Y'all gonna listen or not? Clock that T. Oh, y'all, thank you for listening to me be so passionate about this reality TV stuff. I want to keep the trajectory going, so let's get into our last two topics. The next one, we're going to talk a little bit about Married to Medicine, because I need to stay into my girls. My girls are the best show on Bravo, and Toya had a sit-down interview with Carlos the other day where she wanted to clock in on Dr. Mimi. Let's see what she had to say, because I don't think she's feeling her much.
Before he gets here, honey, I'm going to stick on Steve, honey.
Okay. How long?
No, more.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry, Mimi. Anywho, back to Mimi. I think Mimi's great for the show. Do you think Mimi is following behind Heavenly for protection?
Absolutely. I definitely think she's following behind Heavenly for protection. And really and truly, I would have to differ with you. I think Steve is great for the show. I do. I think Mimi, on the other hand, needs some work. But I think Steve is great.
What work does she need?
Just, you got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to stop. No, she does not. Okay. She likes to use special trigger words that she's learned being a psychiatrist. Chaos. She's in chaos. She, am I safe with her? She, Heavenly didn't get that. She's unhinged. That was me. Stop playing. Stop. When have we heard Heavenly say anything like that? Besides your mama. The people. Honey.
Child, I really hope that Toya is not jealous of this lady or like hating on this lady. I think Dr. Mimi is nice from what I see on camera, but if it's not jealousy, there might be more behind the scenes that we don't know about. Because Dr. Mimi's first season is starting to heat up because she has quite the opinion about Toya and her little confessionals, baby. But we'll get into that as the season goes on. I'm glad all of this is packed up, this drama between Simone and Heavenly, but I will get into this. Toya has been around this group forever. I might not always agree with Toya, but, her and Carlos are really close, so I'm glad they were able to sit down and have this little interview. And then Dr. Eugene came on a little bit later, so yes. And we all watch for Dr. Eugene, because he's a nice guy. Toya aired her out. I'm, like, kind of taken back by the whole, like, diagnosing your friends and all that. I'm going to have to start watching and peeping that and seeing if I can pick up a little bit of that. Because what it gives to me is that Dr. Mimi can get Toya together, and Toya doesn't like that because these are her friends. Don't let her get you together. And the gag of it all, that Dr. Mimi is running behind Heavenly, is crazy. Isn't Heavenly the friend of the show? Isn't Heavenly running for Congress? Are you saying this, Toya, to deflect the fact that you don't want to vote for Heavenly for Congress? Now, I'm all about people and how they want to operate, whatever, but Toya does come off very elitist when it comes to being on Married to Medicine, being that girl, which is fine. Like, you're Toya, you're that girl, you have confidence. And, Dr. Eugene goes on an interview with, Carlos in the same interview and said, like, he likes the fact that she's outspoken. I'm not trying to take that away from Toya. Be outspoken, do your thing, baby. But this is her first season. You giving Giselle vibes. You being a little bit raw with the girl, baby. Now, I will say, if the season goes on and some of these new girls that were not put on the show as main cast members and they're surpassing Mimi, I'm going to get upset. Because if you're going to come on this show and be that girl and get fans behind you and be that girl, I want to see something. And right now, I'm liking what she's bringing. She brings this family dynamic with her and her spouse, her ex-NFL player husband or whatever. And then her kids, and one of her kids has special needs. And it's very, very good to see a black family working with a child that has special needs, specifically someone with autism, on the autism spectrum disorder, or neurodivergent, what have you. I don't know what the diagnosis was or is. But it's good to see two people working towards that, especially somebody who's a psychiatrist who knows what wellness is about and knows the importance of making sure that black kids have access to adequate treatment, all that. Boom, boom, key. Let's see. I'm loving the season of Married to Medicine. I don't know what it's going to give, because now that we know that King and Quad are broken up, I wonder what the rest of the season is going to unfold, baby, for us. I hope that something shifts in dynamic, because I do think that Dr. Jackie, as much as I like her on the show, she can't always be playing these games with Simone, and Simone can't always be playing these games with Jackie. They was unfollowing each other, then following each other. It's just not it. Like, I need stuff to be shaken up. You know what I mean? And right now, I see a shake-up happening with New Blood. So, keep talking about her, girl. And vote for Heavenly, I guess? Well, not I guess. Support black women. Do what you gotta do. I hope she represents her district really well. We need some more black politicians out there. With everything that's happening, sip that tea, refill your cup. We're about to get into some more drama. Oh, you all thought I was done. Okay, I hope you refilled your cups and you're ready for more tea, because we have to get into the Beverly Hills girls. And when I say the Beverly Hills girls, I mean the Rachel Zoe girls, because Rachel Zoe is really killing it for me. I think she is the epitome of what is needed in Beverly Hills. And I want to give my perspective who I think the cast should be next season. But before we jump that far, listen to this quick preview about what's still to come this season.
I told him that I fooled around with this guy. We're all curious. We want to know about the cult.
We want to talk about the cult right now?
Amanda is very cunning. Who's behind the curtain?
They're trying to build up a scam artist case? What kind of woman does this to another woman?
Get in your car and drive away.
I have witnessed you treat your friends like dirt all summer.
I'm sick of that shit. Would you agree? I don't trust you. I don't trust you either. I'm talking to you. You got something to say, you should say it right now. I'll say it because these motherfuckers won't. We don't like it. How about that?
I would much rather be alone than around a bunch of... Can I say something superficial? She looks hot as...
Child. So Amanda is a scam artist? Okay, so I guess we got to get into this. So I will be watching, okay, because I want to see the follow of how this unfolds. But most importantly, the midseason trailer started off with Bose getting engaged. I'm gooped and I'm gagged because she deserves that man. She deserves happiness. She deserves to be in love and be married and be joyful. Like, go Bose. That's what I say about that. I will say it'll be interesting to get some more tea on Rachel Zoe and how that all falls out with her current soon-to-be ex-husband. Or I don't know if they got divorced already, if everything was finalized by the time the show aired or whatever. But she's going through the wonders of that. And Erica is checking Dorito. Okay. I'm sad. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Why Sutton up here bucking up with Dorito and all this. It's giving weird vibes with Beverly Hills. But I will say I'm entertained. Rachel Zoe is there keeping the girls together, getting the girls together like she always does. And I like the fact that I'm starting to see a little bit more of a gel with this group. I think in previous seasons, the cast was very divided in terms of like the cliques and who was together, blah, 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 that kind of thing. I can see the clique kind of falling apart and a new dynamic emerging in Beverly Hills, which I live because that makes room for new diamond holders. I don't know who you need to get rid of, but now the Basketball Wives is over. Go ahead and bring back Jackie Christie to the show. Well, not back to the show, but back to reality TV, baby. And when I say back to reality TV, put her on Beverly Hills with Heather DeBrow. I need chaos. Bring back Denise Richards. Keep all these ladies right now for what I just saw in this little trailer. And if Amanda doesn't do well, she's out. Erica and Kyle, love them for the show. Been around for a while. But right now, I think Center Diamond's going to be Miss Rachel Zoe. Miss Rachel Zoe, Miss Rachel Zoe, Miss Rachel Zoe. Her dynamic with Bose is perfection. I love the fact that Jennifer Tilly is still in the mix. Well, we can't really get rid of Kyle Richards because Kyle Richards is Beverly Hills. But I will say, you know, if we need to start plucking some of the girlies off, like Dorito, Erica, Sutton, and just putting new girlies in, making some returns come back, Crystal Minkoff, blah, 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 go ahead and do a little whoop, 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 as long as we don't end up with Anna Marie. As long as we don't end up with Anna Marie ever again. She doesn't need to be on the show. There's other girls I can list off. Brandy, that girl when she was on the show, now she had like a face disease or something. God rest. Oh, she's still alive. My bad. But anyway, I don't want Brandy back on the show at all because she would just mess up the dynamic and the whole shift would turn. I think adding Rachel DeBro with Rachel Zoe and keeping some of the ladies like Kyle Richards and Bose, and then throwing in Jackie Christie and having some more friends pop in here and there. Okay, just call me. Let me know what y'all want to do. Look, because I can be production. I could be casting. I can do that. Can I also just say I'm over the fighting between Kyle and Dorit? It was cute last couple seasons, but okay, so y'all don't like each other. Stop acting like y'all each other's friends. Be enemies. Be enemies. Start right off, be enemies. Stop kissing each other's butt. Stop all this. Sutton is Sutton. She's trying to mingle and be friendly with all the girls, trying to do her resurgence of this personality shift since Garcelle left and said, I'm not going to be your friend anymore, crazy ass, since you all up Kyle's ass. And I think Sutton's just trying to find her way in the group. So far, I think she's slightly found her way, but her undoing is coming soon. It's going down. I must say, I find it interesting that the shift has also kept Kathy Hilton in the mix, which I appreciate. I think either you have Kathy Hilton in more scenes or you don't have Kathy Hilton at all. Because what's going on here? What is this? What's going on? I don't want to see any more scenes with Mauricio and Kyle either. I understand that's your family, that's your storyline, blah, blah, bloom, bloom, bloom. Kyle, are you going to start dating? Are y'all getting back together? Why am I still asking questions that we've been asking for the past 4 or 5 years? Kyle! Anyway, the show is going to be interesting. I'm going to be a little bit wishy-washy when it comes to Erica Jane because I love Erica. But I want to see what this season does for her. Because what is Erica's storyline besides performing in Vegas? Oh, okay, y'all don't know? Yeah, so we gonna need something to happen. I want to see more of this man that she got, because apparently that's a new dynamic. She's giddy about that. Both can relate to being with a man, and so can Dorit can't, so there's that. And here's the thing, Dorito, if you're just unhappy, Dorito. Just say, I'm unhappy, I'm pissed off, I'm going through this. Stop taking off your anger on these ladies in this group, because that's what it's giving me. And I could be corrected, I could be wrong, we'll see what it gives, but it's given like Dorito first started checking y'all and y'all didn't hear her. And then she had to keep checking y'all. And now y'all want her to stop. So, we'll see what happens. Alright, girlies. Hello, hello, hello. As Rupaul would say. Now that I've given y'all a little bit of that Bravo tea, I want to go ahead and talk about RuPaul's Drag Race, because you know I bring it to you every week on that show as well, baby. Drag excellence and LGBTQ plus excellence is something that I always want to type into and get into. But I want to tell you girls that I think Raider Queen needs to go. Because why is Raider Queen still here? If we're going to start putting the good queens in the bottom, there's no reason for us to be rating the queen. This is not RuPaul's Best Friend race. And it's giving, if we're going to start doing that, let's just do that earlier in the show so that we can figure out how the girlies want to play the competition and then keep it pushing. Or you could just eliminate it all together. I love having a top 2. I love having the girls who are doing the best in the competition get their flowers. Cute. Do that week 1. Okay? Because now the competition is heating up and it's time to start getting to know the girlies even more. I want to see like the competition to get into them. The judges, y'all there to judge. Okay? And Ross, I don't want the judging to be like, oh, I think I want more. I think I needed more. Blah, 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 blah. Ross, Discord sat up on that stage. Not sat. Walked around, child. Walked around on that stage playing 3 different instruments, singing an original song, lip sync. I don't know what they were doing, child. But how can you look at that and then say you need more? Ross, I need least. And that's from you. Because why are you up here judging saying you need more? What you need, acrobats? This is RuPaul's Drag Race. And creativity is something in regards to being original. And I think that was pretty talented in my opinion. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Can you please her? Can you don't? Can you not? I was so shocked to see that Kenya was safe. Baby, this is RuPaul's best friend race. Get rid of Ray the Queen. Get rid of Ray the Queen. Because ain't no way in the world that Kenya Pleaser wasn't singing for the bottom placement, baby. I do agree with who went home. Because that's what the girlies decided or whatever. And I'm all about being a team player. But, you know. I think it's time to try something different. I hope I spilled enough Bravo tea for y'all. But as I'm starting to spill more tea, I also want to start doing something different when it comes to my coverage of Drag Race. Each week, I'm going to start covering my favorite queen that I think is going to head to the top 4. And this week, I want to get into who I think. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Mikey Meeks, and I'm from the city beautiful Orlando, Florida. My keys. Get it? My keys, okay? Highbrow comedy here. The doors I've opened. Please take these cat toys out of my hand. Mikey is my real name. I just spell it more androgynous, and I thought I spelled it phonetically because I spell it the normal way out of drag. In drag, it's M-Y-K-I, but people still don't know how to say it, but it's Mikey, right? Not Mickey, not Meeky. And then Meeks is a nickname that my best friends gave me, so it's two of my own nicknames put together. Mikey Meeks, honey. My full legal drag name is Dr. Michaela Meekerson, MD. And the MD stands for mental disorder. I think of myself as a dynamic theatrical powerhouse. I do a little bit of everything. Theater is my upbringing. I call myself a recovering theater girl because that trauma's in the past. But I love going for old Hollywood glamour mixed with a little bit of party girl. So I'm a cross between Ava Gardner and Charlie XCX.
I must say the fact that Mikey Meeks was in the bottom 2 was diabolical. That look was giving, and I think it's time for us to start really looking ahead into the competition. And I have selected Mikey Meeks as one of my first drag queens that I think will be making it to the top 4. Now, I have 3 more drag queens to go, so I will give it to you every time. But I will say, let's get rid of Whitey Queen, and let's try something different. This is too much. What are y'all doing here? Anywho, I think y'all should tune into my episode next week, because we're going to be doing a special coverage of, drumroll, Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model, which is going to be coming out February 16th, but I want to give you all a heads up. In this documentary, we will have all the famous people from America's Next Top Model making an appearance. That includes Tyra Banks, the J's, honey, Miss J and Mr. J, down, and a lot of interviews. Look, like I said, contestants are going to be showing up, but like I said, it's going to talk about all the intensity, all that drama, all the controversial challenges, everything that has sparked debate most recently from America's Next Top Model. So we will be covering her down, baby, on the pod. So make sure you get your tea, make sure you get your wine, your champagne, or what have you, because you know I bring it to you fresh every week. This is Clock the Reality with Mark Midwestern, honey, and I bring it to you fresh every single time. And don't you ever forget that. Thanks for listening to an all-new episode of Clock the Reality with Mark Midwestern, honey. I'll bring it to you fresh. Keep listening everywhere you get your podcasts.